Hello everyone, welcome to the video. Today I'm talking about Moldavite. We went molding for mining. We went molding. Get your words out correctly, Kim. We went mining for Moldavite a few weeks ago. It was such a fun experience. I did film it, which is in another video. You can go and watch that. I'll link it down below if you did miss out on that one. So today I'm talking about the Moldavite that we found and just going through our general collection really. So after about 2 hours of mining, how much Moldavite did we actually find? Before I begin, I am Kim, I'm the owner of Feel Good Crystals. I'm currently sat in our shop in the Cotswolds. We have a beautiful range of crystals, from small pieces from tumblestones to like huge, I mean look at this piece here. This is a piece of quartz on stand. I'm debating keeping it because it's so beautiful. So yeah, big specimen pieces as well. So if you're ever in the area, please do come along and check us out. If you're unable to come to the store, we do also have a website. We're on all the social medias. I'll put our links down below if you fancy checking us out. Well, luckily we did actually find some because not everyone does. It was me, my husband and my 2 children, and luckily we all found one piece each. I was like, thank goodness, because if a child didn't find a piece, it could be very traumatic, but we did all find a piece each. And that was all we found. We found one piece each. So that was a great thing from this experience, is that we now have a new Moldavite supplier. We still have other Moldavite suppliers, but seeing as we've been to the mine, we've connected with them, we know exactly where this Moldavite's coming from, the site that this Moldavite's coming from, because there's obviously various sites. So it's great for us that we've made that connection now, and going forward, this is where we'll be getting most of our Moldavite from. So I've decided to put my piece in the shop along with my husband's and my son, because I think it's quite nice to have it on display and say, oh, look, this is what we found. My daughter, however, is like, finders keepers. This is mine. It is staying with me. So I haven't actually got her piece. I'll probably do a cutaway to show her piece if she prizes it, if I can prize it out of her hands, basically. And just to show you, because she actually got the biggest piece, the most impressive piece. I'm sure she'll be fine with that, to show you. But as for our pieces, I'm going to show you them today, and then I'm going to show you the pieces we bought from the mine, which we are actually selling in the shop. So if you don't know what Moldavite is, it's actually classed as a tektite, and that is when a meteor impacted Earth. The shower that came off of the meteor impact cooled down and created Moldavite. So over the millions of years, there's been a number of meteors hitting Earth, hence why you get different tektites. So you might get Libyan desert glass, you might get egnemanitite. So Moldavite was from a meteor that impacted the Czech Republic about 15 million years ago. So as it impacted Earth, the shower that came off and cooled down created Moldavite. So that is essentially what Moldavite is. It's a out of this world crystal because it was from a meteor from who knows where in the universe, impacted Earth, combined with Earth and created Moldavite. So it's a mix of Earth and who knows what else. So that's why I love it, because it's mysterious. It's from who knows where. So yeah, I'll show you our collection, and I mean, they vary from tiny pieces to whopper pieces, but it's worth having a look. I'll be showing pieces on light bases as well, just to really show the inclusions, because when you do put light behind Moldavite, it completely transforms it. You can really see the colours and, like I said, the inclusions in there as well. So let me show you our Moldavite. It's locked away in a cabinet because it's so strong energy. I have to keep it away. It's actually quite funny. When I go to get it out in the shop, it's like the big reveal. It's like the locked cabinet of energy. So it's quite a fun crystal tektite to explore. So here are our pieces. We decided to put them in these specimen boxes. I've seen these before, but I've never had them in the shop because I hadn't been keen on them before. I don't know why, but we got some in. I've put Moldavite in it and I actually quite like it. I mean, the light is making it look a bit weird because this is like a thin bit of plastic and you push it open. It opens like that. So it's basically like 2 thin bits of plastic that encase a specimen. But I think it kind of works with Moldavite and with small pieces. And I believe we've got a batch coming in. So if you are after a specimen box, I will probably put these on the website, because I do think it actually looks quite good like that. Yeah. I'm thinking about even leveling it up and putting some lights in there just to like make it extra. Because I can't just do this, I have to make it extra. So there we go. So this piece is Luca's piece, and this is actually the smallest piece that we found. I'll put some cutaways in as well. So one of the other guys who was mining, he showed me what he'd found previously, because he was local and he had been before, and he had some really, really tiny pieces, and that's all he had found. So when Luca found this, although it's quite small in comparison to other bits, it's actually a pretty decent size. So if you can imagine trying to find this in a huge mound of earth, it's really quite tricky, because it's actually quite a light colour. When it's in the earth, it looks black, but the smaller the piece, obviously the harder it is going to be to spot, because, I mean, it's quite thin, and you can see it's not really that dark at all. So that was Luca's piece. Moving on to my piece, which is this bit. This is the second biggest bit, actually. So there's mine. When I found this, I was like, that is like a classic looking piece of Moldavite. Look at that. In fact, let's take some out the case. There we go. You can kind of get the gist of the size of this one. It's actually quite a chunky one. So this is mine. This is what I found. And I do think, oh, we all found one each. This was meant to be my one. Now, if you're interested in more of the energy side of things, I'm filming another video and I'll be telling you about how it felt and all the energy side of things, basically, in another video. But for today, we're just going to admire some Moldavite and I'll just, yeah, look at it. It fascinates me still. It fascinates me. It's a good thing, this being my business. But how can that not fascinate you? Look. You're amazing, Moldavite. You really are. And then this was Ian's piece. Yeah. So you can see like the loop here. Look. An indentation. So as mentioned earlier, this is created from a meteor impacting Earth. So the various shapes and colours and sizes all depends on variables of how the meteor came in, the angle of the meteor. I found this out at the Moldavite Museum, by the way. That's also on the last video. Really interesting. So the angle that it came in on, where it landed, what it hit. So for example, if it landed in water, you'd get a different type of Moldavite as you would if it just landed on a tree or on a piece of earth, something like that. And also the angle of the meteor kind of determined whether Moldavite was actually created or not. It's very fascinating, but what I'm saying is there's variables that make the Moldavite look different. So if you can see the little loopy bit there, this would have maybe wrapped itself around something. So as it landed, it must have landed on something which would have once upon a time been inside that loopy bit. So who knows what it housed in there, but it's long gone, whatever it was. So that's Ian's bit. So he had a loopy bit. That's the technical word, guys. The loopy bit on the Moldavite. Yeah. So he had the most unusual shape, but then Effie had the largest piece. The largest piece, which she found first, and quite quickly when we arrived. So it was quite impressive. So there's our little pieces. But I'm also going to show you the big pieces. The big pieces that we bought from the mine, and another big piece that we acquired while we were there. I'll just grab those. So while we were mining, one of the actual miners was digging away and he found this piece and we ended up buying it because he put it in our box and we're like, yes, thank you, we will have that. And you can see the size difference. So just to put it into context, that was the bit that Luca found, and this is the bit that guy found. So you really don't know what you're going to find, obviously. But look at this one. Oh, let's get you out of your little cage. There we are. Obviously quite a thick piece, so it's quite dark in places. You can see it really does look like glass, because it is technically a form of glass. So that was the piece that he found, and yes, it came home with this. Are we selling this piece? I don't know, I haven't priced it up. But if you're like, I just can't, I simply need that piece in my life, then get in touch if you fancy it. So there we go. I might keep that actually as part of my, this is what we found, but didn't really find, but we kind of did display. And then, okay, let's go up in size order. So again, this is what we purchased while we were at the mine, because you can obviously buy wholesale there as well. So this one is 8.9 grams. You'll be able to see in the cutaways how it just completely transforms with a light behind it. So if you do have some Moldavite, I would highly recommend getting some kind of light base, because as a display, it just looks incredible, and it's also just quite interesting to look at. This one is at 9.1 grams. It's a nice chunky piece. I like this one. Look at this. This one's the next biggest piece, and this is 15.4 grams. If you're thinking 15.4 grams, that's not a lot, but it is some Moldavite. Quite an interesting shape on this one. Again, this is all being found at the mining site that we mined at. And then the biggest piece that we have in stock, and I think we've ever had, is 16.88. Look at that. This one is a whopper. There we are. So while we were there, they actually showed us this piece in matrix. So in matrix meaning like with another stone, and it was huge. And he said 50 grams, like the piece they found was 50 grams. There was a bit of a language barrier. I'm not sure if it was 50 or not, because it looked even bigger than 50 grams. And they will be sending us an image of it when they clean it up, because it was a huge piece. I mean, like, if you think that's huge, it was thick. It was a massive piece. So they do find huge pieces, and even in the museum, there were some really fat, thick pieces. But if I would have found this bit, I would have been very, very chuffed. But unfortunately, I didn't. But at least I know exactly where it came from. There we go. So they're the four chunky, exciting pieces. But then I also do have a collection of smaller pieces and jewellery as well. So I'll just do a quick cutaway of the jewellery that we have, just so you can have a look. It's actually all on the website. Go me, I've actually done that. It's all on the website if you fancy having a browse. So there we go, that's my Moldavite collection and the pieces that we actually found. If you're interested in going and you're like, oh, do I or not, I would highly recommend going. If you're ever going to Prague, or you want to actually plan a trip and you want to go mining for your own, I'd highly recommend going. It was really a great experience. And it's made me think about, oh, I want to do that more. I want to go out and explore a bit more with my family. I mean, we've obviously done that before with suppliers and things, but to have it as like a family experience, just for pleasure, just for me to go and dig and do it, it was great. And yeah, I recommend it. So that's it for this video. I will be filming one more video in my little Moldavite series, and that will be all about the properties, energy of Moldavite, and how I felt being one in the museum, because there was a lot of Moldavite in there, and two, being on the site, so on the land of Moldavite. How did it feel? So keep your eye out for that one. When it is up and ready, I'll link it to this video somehow. But that is it for this video. If you did enjoy it, I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to this channel. It really helps this channel out and gives me a bit of a boost. Do give a thumbs up, love it. Very much appreciated, so thank you. Okay, that's it, and I'll see you in my next video.